we're doing this. We're going live. So just if you're watching out there, I just want to say thanks for watching. It's always for me. It's always a big thank you from me to you watching this from wherever you are. We really appreciate you here on the platform just for joining us. If you're watching it on the restream or the recorded part of this, thanks again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Y'all know all the drills, what all the content creators say. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, do all that stuff. I don't have to repeat myself, but my daughter will always say, don't forget to remind them. so, so it's always a pleasure just to be here on the platform and share this information. So tonight's live, we have Mr. Darwin Clarke, who's a big part of this platform, who has helped this platform grow tremendously over the years. And our next guest is Layne from sunny Barbados. He has all the inside scoop. He's a writer down there. He will explain it to you. I don't want to misquote or missay something. What I'll let him say it. He can repeat himself, big himself up. And yeah, so he's going to share some information about the racing in Barbados and what is happening. And we go from there. I mean, it's been a lot of drama, a lot of information. They have the big derby coming up next weekend. So let's go from here. Good night to you, Mr. Darwin Clarke.
Good night, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm
Very
just
good.
excited to hear all this information tonight.
All righty. Well, we see Kent is coming from sunny Barbados poolside somewhere, so I'm jealous.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? All right, so I mean, let's chop it up like this. I know they had racing last weekend. Before we get into the Derby, which is coming up next weekend, Ken, is that true?
Yeah, next weekend.
Next weekend. So first of all, there's been a lot of well, a couple of incidents down in Barbados. I saw some videos being posted, which is always traumatic when you see videos posted of spills and stuff like that, which is not new to horse racing. But sometimes the person who's new to horse racing might get a bit of a shock when they see stuff like that happen. Um, what's the word from ground level? Um, was there track or turf that caused these incidents, or there was something else going on
No,
with a couple of horses that I guess
no,
passed?
no, it wasn't that we caught the horse. What we call in Barbados terms, I don't know if they call it for mercury reversibly. So it didn't have nothing to do with the track at all.
Okay,
That's good to hear.
Yeah,
that's very good.
yeah.
Well, it's not
So
very good, but it's
One of
good
the
info that it's not a track.
one of the major horses of the Derby, the he fell. He died yesterday. Don't know what he died from though. That's outside.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel bad for Richard.
I heard
is
that
it,
also. Yeah.
He finished second. He finished second the first two legs, and Bashir was looking forward to his first Derby win. But I'm gonna say that which is next horse is back in the Derby. The horse that won the Guineas, but she didn't win in the she didn't race in the Midsummer. That's it. So hopefully, we should be looking forward to see how she runs. But
well, I know there's going to be a Barbados audience out there who can chime in on the names of those horses. But I guess you're going to fill us in on the significance of that horse that is now entering the race.
yeah, she won the Guineas. No, so
Wasn't
that's she won,
wasn't
but she
there the
didn't race in
plan
the.
to wasn't there a plan
She
to
she
run
didn't
her
pay.
anyway?
Well, she didn't pay up for the the Derby in the first stage.
Oh, okay,
They paid a penalty to come in. Yeah,
got it.
Is
And
that
this
what you call
was
it? A penalty? You pay a penalty to come in? Is that the right term?
yeah. Once you miss one stage, then you pay up for the next. They call it a penalty.
yeah.
So when the nominations come, we see a P next to the horse's name.
Darwin, I'm gonna just kind of like just go a little bit here on mute and let you go ahead and ask these questions to Ken. Okay.
Okay. All right, kid. So I know Valiant. He's my win in the Derby. I think he's going to win. I think he's going to win pretty impressive.
Well,
Also, what's your feelings on
well,
that?
I would like him win for Jerry State. Yeah, I would like him win for Jerry State. There's a friend of mine, breeding horses for a lot of years, and I hope the best of luck for him. Walking tour, he won the Midsummer Classic. You know, he's the heavy favorite for the Derby. But if he's beaten, no Josiah is out. I think Valiant will be hard to beat him. We already see the rest coming on terms, but no horse racing funny.
I mean, no disrespect
Yeah,
to
Valiant.
Raconteur, no disrespect to that horse at all. But I think that race,
Yeah.
the way it was ran, ended up being quote unquote a bad race. I think if Valiant was 100% and Richard Dean's horse that finished second, because I think he ran a below par race. So
Who you mean, Valiant?
not Valiant, Richard Dean's horse, Josiah.
Or Josiah? Okay.
Yeah, so I think he
The
ran a below par
ill-fated,
race. So I think
you gotta call it
say it again.
ill-fated now.
Yes, but I
I say we have to say the ill-fated. Yeah.
the ill-fated. Uh, but anyway, I think that the form of the race I think is going to be bad because I think if Jerry's horse Valiant was 100% fit, he would win by a country mile. But he's going to enjoy the 10 furlongs. I think he's going to stay forever, and
Uh,
everybody behind him will be struggling.
what I like about the two horses is that Raconteur, he's the grandson of Galileo, a great grandson, and Jerry Horse is a grandson of
The
Dubai.
boy, yeah, great,
So
great grandson, yeah.
you got the rivers in the Caribbean now.
Yeah,
The river between Galileo and Dubai, Barbados.
yeah. There's a lot of stamina there,
That's what I like about it. Yeah.
but um, I mean, it's a small field. Well, no, it's like what 7 horses now, huh? So it's not that small,
No,
but
no, no,
it's lacking
no, no. It's 11. Is I think 10 horses.
10. Okay, but I mean,
Ten
you
horses.
have 4 or 5 horses, and then the others. We used to say back in the day would be also rans. So I think the others would be also rans. I don't think they would be play a major role
Yeah.
in that race. That's just my opinion.
But with Josiah out, the horse is looking at Sally Horse. They think she didn't want to watch some of them didn't
Something
watch it.
Maria,
You
Heidi,
also Sally.
Heidi Marie. Heidi
Heard
Marie.
yeah, yeah, she's beautifully bred. Her diamond family is status, so she can enjoy the playing for longs as well.
She ran well in that race, but like I said, I think that race is going to turn out to be a bad race, form wise. I think she ran fourth, right in the back of Valiant and Josiah. She was right behind them, and the winner was well clear. But yeah, I don't expect that race to run. The Derby was going to run through the form. I think it's going to be Valiant by a
I
mile.
just hope
I
that
honestly think Nostradamus would. Go ahead, Ken.
he lost in audio. No, he lost who said it just song at the end.
Yeah, I said I think Valiant will win by a country mile. Nostradamus will pick up a minor place, and then everything else is up for grabs.
So you don't think Walking Tour in the first two?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I mean, no disrespect to the horse. I just don't think she's that good. But we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. What do you
okay.
think? You think she's that good?
Uh, well, he's a coach, so he
Oh, he. Oh,
uh
that shows how
that
much I
performance
know.
in the mid classic. Yeah, yeah. The performance in the Summer Classic, and that's only his third start. Um,
Yeah.
I don't think he improved on there. He gave me the first two. I can't count up.
But,
That's the
but bear in
best
mind,
horse
I
in a
don't get
long,
to
long time.
see. Yeah, I don't get to see the horses and stuff like that. So I'm just going off what I watch, you know. So I'm not there on the ground
Oh,
like you. So you will have more info than I would. But if we can switch gears for a while, we're
yeah,
talking
he
about
gave
the
me the first.
Derby. But I have a couple
Yeah,
questions I'd love to ask you and see your opinion on it. Um, there's an
yeah,
apprentice race on the same day for 7 pound claimers.
yeah,
But apparently, there's a rule: if an
yeah,
apprentice rides in the Derby, he cannot ride in the apprentice race. Is that true, or is that just a rumor?
yeah. No, it's true. I brought it out in my chat room. There was a lot of debate, and came on, and he said the rule was put there. But some jockeys don't like to. You see, some jockeys don't like to ride in the race before the big races. So they say the
Right,
jockey
but
had
then
to
you
choose.
but then you cannot penalize a jockey for getting a ride in the Derby. I mean, that's stupid. I mean, let's say it was a full fledged rider.
So
I mean, you're making
exactly.
you're making an apprentice choose between riding a Derby and riding in an apprentice race, which is framed solely for them 7 pound claimers. So now you're going to add another layer to it and say, well, if you
Right.
ride
So
in
I
the
sport to one.
Derby,
I spoke to one of the jockeys. One of the apprentices had already in the Derby, and he said, "Well, he asked when he had one start like in the Derby, and the apprentice was going after a hot trick. You see, he would like to go in the Derby, but every got horse like going after a hot trick. Opposed to a horse that only having second start in the Derby, which one you gonna pick?
so
So
what Robert Pierce said, I mean, that
you pick the apprentice.
explanation doesn't sound even half decent to me. That some riders don't like to ride in the race before the apprentice race or the race before the Derby. I mean, I don't understand that.
Um,
Do you remember his
yeah,
exact words?
I go back over what you said again.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't go back
okay.
over it now. But yeah, it's a lot. I know it caused a lot of ruckus. A lot of people angry about it.
Right, but I mean, who would implement a
A
rule
lot of
like that?
jockeys.
That's stupid. Is this something coming from the directors or the CEO? I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. First of all, if an apprentice rides in the Derby, he gets the necessary experience that will help him down the road. You know, whether he has a shot in this Derby or not. He's building his career. So I don't think you should try to hamper him and being a successful jockey by saying if you ride the Derby, you can't ride the apprentice race. I mean, you should be
Uh,
commending a 7 pound climber if you can do that.
um, you got so every day you got so much system. Every day some kind of confusion with all the time.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know
this
why
has
they
nothing to do
changed
with
it from.
handicapping. This is
No, I
it's
mean,
not a
no, I
rule.
know it's not
I
that
want to
good
know
that.
what
What are you
was
talking
the
about?
end result. Because you would think
No,
you would
I know
have
it's
a
nothing to do with it.
plan.
That's one of the problems I have to every week.
Yeah, the handicapping is a fraud. I mean, honestly, the last couple of weeks, I thought it was a little better because I could not predict certain horses' weights. I would say 8 out of 10 in the race. I knew exactly what weight they were getting before the weights came out. But with recently, there've been some surprises. So it seems like somebody's trying to do a better job. But this new rule does not make sense, Ken. It absolutely does not make sense. I would love to find out who implemented it and what were the thoughts behind it. Because it doesn't make sense. It's just horse shit to me. It doesn't make sense at all. I, I think you would commend someone to get the opportunity to ride in the Derby. especially the 7 pound climber. I
Uh,
mean, well,
this, this is what Robert said. The condition states you can ride either or choose to ride in the apprentice race or over the derby.
okay, but why?
That's what he said.
My question is why. I mean,
That's what everybody asking. Yeah, everybody asking why, but nobody ain't coming up to say.
I honestly do not get that. I mean,
Can
you would have.
I want to ask a question, guys. So I want to
Yeah,
interject here a little bit because um I mean like I guess the fans are wondering like why I guess is this new? I mean unless it's
Yeah,
a new rule.
something new.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean like
yeah,
for
this is a
example
new
like if there's a new
rule.
rule i- if there's a new rule when it comes to horse racing in Barbados or whatever, I'm pretty sure it might have been some kind of information being told to the public or to the owners or whoever about this new rule. So that would make sense so that there's a clear explanation of why or whatever, right? I'm just saying, look, don't hate on me. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure there must be some PR which would tell
Okay.
fans, hey, look, by the way, this new rule started this year. If Apprentice rides, then in the Apprentice race, then he can't ride in the Derby. So it's pretty clear
Well, well,
and and laid out so that there's the explanation is there for
There's no
questions.
explanation. There's no explanation. You're just saying this is a rule.
there's no explanation.
There's no
And
explanation.
we only heard about it
What
yesterday
what
when
is the
the
end
entry
result?
when
What
the
are you
entries came
trying
up.
to accomplish? Why can't Apprentice ride back-to-back races or those two races? What is the benefit of implementing this rule? You know, don't you look at life that way? It's
Nobody
like,
knows.
I mean,
Okay,
I don't have any skin in the game. I'm just asking from an outsider. If you're going to tell me, let's say, for instance, hypothetically, my
Yeah,
kid was a
well,
jockey, and I had a horse in the apprentice race and the derby, and I wanted to ride both. You're going to tell me I can't ride them in both? And then I will love an explanation why. Is it going to help the rider be a better rider down the road? I mean, what's the end? What's the end game? That's my question, Derek.
but
And
you
there's
see that
none.
word? You see that word why? That little three letter word. It's a very important word in life.
But you should not do anything unless you know the why.
Exactly.
It's
Um,
like,
I think we're gonna have to expand too, and this is the reason why,
okay,
because Kent is not giving us enough information here. I mean, he's not digging hard enough. Kent, you gotta dig a little
no,
bit
but
deeper.
he should be
well,
an
I don't.
investigative
Well, I don't
reporter.
know. I don't know. I don't know. All it was. Everybody's asking why. I don't know. They only came out yesterday, you know.
Well, you could ask the question today. I mean, you could just go to Rosette and say, hey, what is the upside of this new rule? How
But
is it going to
that was
help the apprentices?
well, I will talk about tomorrow.
Okay.
Can,
But
can you
tomorrow
not?
Hey,
I will
if
find
you
out.
have to share my
Yeah.
number with one of the people that implement it, I would love to. I'd love to hear the explanation. I would love
Well,
for that to
yeah.
happen.
Well, I didn't know you have. Well, I didn't know you have. What was that number? Right?
I do, but I don't want to see
Uh,
Ray don't get along. But Rosette can tell me, oh, the directors did it. So I mean, give me somebody's number. I'd love to ask that question. But that's her easy out, you know.
you anybody deal with her? I don't even know about that.
But
But
some of the directors can. I mean, you write for a newspaper, don't you?
but but but, this is a joke. When I asked the director, they tell me go to the was that.
They're playing ping pong,
That
right?
does yeah. That, yeah, they tell me go to was that. So that I was going to talk to her when they want to know stuff.
All right, Kent.
It
Give
has
me a
been
minute
a
here.
we had a really bad week.
Is he listening?
I didn't hear
Yeah,
that.
he's giving you a minute.
Oh, I would say I know because we can't see you, and you can't, well, you can see us. But I was just saying, just give me a minute so I can ask you this question. I didn't want to jump over you, right?
Oh, no problem.
So
Yeah, yeah.
my question to you was, are you not able to, you go up to the office or whatever, you use your position as a writer. I don't know how much power that holds in Barbados, because Barbados gets kind of funny sometimes. But could you not say, Kent Lane from Barbados online? Is it Barbados Today online?
But yeah, but right now I'm not. Don't forget, I'm not working up in. I'm not working right now.
Well, they don't
So
know that. They I mean, I'm gonna have to bring you to Canada so you can learn a little bit, get a little bit of street rules here, man.
Some street cred,
Um,
bro. Come on.
exactly. They don't know that. You at home working your tail off. You working the internet. You working the wide World Wide Web,
You're
dude.
sitting on your butt writing. That's all you do anyway. Broken leg or not. But at any rate,
yeah, well, yeah, but everybody know that. Yeah, everybody know the accident.
but you're gathering information for a later story. I mean, you can
Yeah.
fact check. Look, I'm trying to become a member of the BTBA, so
Oh,
I have to
oh,
be
yeah,
half
oh, yeah,
portrait.
understand
So
it. Yeah, yeah, understand
I
it.
gotta have two members sign for me. But
That's beautiful, Darwin. Thanks for sharing
hey,
that information.
but hey,
So
I don't give a shit. So I'm gonna still attack.
so
Uh,
so does that mean now that you'll become a snob and you'll
no,
ignore us
no,
too?
no, no, no. I'm just no. I'm just becoming a member, but no, just a what do you call it? Ordinary member. So
Okay.
I'll never be a snob, man. I'm not highfalutin like that. I'm just simple old me. But yeah, that apprentice thing, that is nonsense. Oh my God, it's nonsense.
So are we going to get
You
an explanation for that or what? I mean, if there's someone out there, um, that maybe have inside scoop, because I really would love to expand this kind of dialogue so that people, especially in Barbados, there's a obviously there's a connection with us, with Barbados, even though we live abroad or whatever. Just to have those connections so that for fans. When I watched racing on YouTube, Garrison Savannah, there's a lot of people tuning in, so it tells me that there's a lot of people who are
a lot
watching
of
the races
outside,
from
yeah,
all over.
yeah.
So it'll be good for people to know this information.
But the thing is, right? What you're asking the young person to do, the apprentice, is choose between getting valuable experience or winning an apprentice race. Staying in your lane more or less, and that's very very hard. You're literally taking money out of his pocket. I won the Derby as an apprentice. So let's say that rule was then. Maybe I would not have won two derbies in my whole life. Maybe I'll figure I'll stay with the apprentices and win that apprentice race. So I'm not just saying this to be a hassle or bullshit or whatever. It's legitimate that you are impeding somebody's progress. You're stifling somebody's career by saying you can't ride in both races, and for no reason. Because I see some apprentices in Barbados ride 7 or 8 races. They usually have a full card. So I don't know. Do they think the volume of the race? I don't know. I would love to hear from whoever came up with this rule or the body that came up with this rule a logical explanation. It doesn't have to be logical, but what were their mindset when they implement this rule?
Now,
That's all. That's all I'd love to hear.
which apprentice is this affecting?
I don't know if there's any. I'm just hypothetical. I don't know. Kent might know more than I do.
Okay.
Was that about what? They lost
Which
the
apprentice does this affect? Was
a little
was
bit.
there was there an apprentice that was riding in the Derby?
Yeah, Kadeem Mohammed. Kadeem
Okay.
Mohammed. But
So then
he
he had
chose
to
already in the
choose
apprentice
whether he
race.
wants to ride.
Yeah,
Yeah, Yeah, but I mean, like, if you figure he could even run fourth, it might be more than what the apprentice race pays him, you know,
Yeah,
dollars wise.
he told me he chose. A sport told me he told me he chose to wear it in the apprentice race because the horse
Did he ask why?
is
Did he
wearing going
ask
for
why
the
the
hat
rule
trick.
was implemented? Have a good night. I'll see you.
Uh,
Does he
he,
know why the rule was
he didn't tell
implemented?
me.
But I mean, that's his job to find out why
I don't think
someone
so.
is taking money out of his pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if less than a
Or
trainer
you know
come and
that he
said,
had to pick one. I don't think he knew it.
I can only breed two horses a year, I was like, well,
Yeah. But he,
why are you hampering my operation? Why are you lessening my ability to make money?
wait to tell you he's very wait to tell he's very angry.
Yeah, but go find out. Go
I
ask
can
someone.
tell you that.
Go ask someone. I mean, or request a formal meeting with the stewards or the directors or whoever implements the rules. I mean, just don't lie down and say, okay, I guess that's the new rule. And then for a smart person like Robert, well, he didn't explain it, but he just says it's a rule that was implemented. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, I don't know. I guess I live in America, so we fight. We fight nonsensical changes. At least we try to. We live in a different climate now, so different environment. So, oh, we try to. Oh my God.
Now, well,
I got.
it kind of tells me a little bit also about in general, people on the island maybe not pushing hard enough for for answers. I'm not saying you obviously burn down the entire house, but I'm just saying, um, sometimes you just need clarity. A word that you use all the time, transparency.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you can be clear about a lot of things. It helps not only you, but it helps many other people.
But if I were the president of the Jockey Association, I don't know if they have a functioning association. I would request an emergency meeting with the stewards or the board of directors to find out what were they thinking. What's the benefits of this? Because I know what the downside is. So I'd like to know what's the benefits of it. And like you say, you don't have to burn down the house, but you can most definitely have your body's presence felt. And say, hey, where's the body? We need an explanation. But I don't think those things are in place. I could be wrong. And then normally is ran by a jockey, and that jockey doesn't want to be the head of the snake. They always want to like take a back seat and say, you know. But there's some battles that you have to fight, and this definitely will be a battle that you should fight because they're lessening your ability to make money. Is what they're doing.
Ken, are you able to speak freely on stuff like this? Because I'm just saying, as a journalist, I would push hard, ask tough questions, so we can get clear answers to the public, right? Uh, I mean, you'll probably arouse a few things, a few people or whatever, but I mean, that's the only way I would figure you would expand a little bit, um, as a writer, journalist, or whatever, just to ask some of these tough questions because you're not trying to be, as they would say, a dick, but you're trying to just get answers, which sometimes is necessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's why. No, I ain't really, I can't really improve, but that's why I made the topic on my chat own. Nobody's coming up to say why the rule was made.
Right.
But I would speak to try to speak to my spirits if I know.
Yeah, you should keep digging, man, because it's, in my humble opinion, it's a dumb rule. I would like to be corrected if somebody said,
Yeah,
"Here's
everybody.
why," and it
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay, it makes sense. And I'll apologize to whoever came up with the rule, but I see no upside in
Yeah.
it, none whatsoever. Apprentice jockeys are riding seven,
But
eight rides a day.
the first time I knew about it, I originally put it on his Facebook, and he doesn't know. He's the trainer. He doesn't know what it made it. He was angry because uh, the guy Kadeem Muhammad rides a lot of horses for him, right? And
Right.
he would like to see him to ride in his first derby.
No, he rode in the
But
Derby
nobody
last year.
doesn't know what
He,
he
he
rode.
rode he rode in the Derby
He
last year.
rode in Derby last year,
Of
or I
course,
don't
yeah,
know.
he rode.
Uh, Sydney.
I think it was a chestnut horse. I can see him coming down the lane right now, but I don't know the name of the horse. But he definitely rode in the Derby last year. Yeah.
But this is one of the ways that I usually treat um, those kind of
Um,
information. Is that even actually true? Because first of all, there's
It
no
is
statement
true.
from the.
It
I
is
don't
true.
know. Is it actually true? Because
It
is
is.
it coming? Is it a statement from the body? Is it a statement from the head?
I
If
saw.
uh, F1 is true.
what we're
I didn't hear
discussing,
you there.
that the apprentice, if he rides in one race, he can't ride in the
It,
other.
yeah, it's true. I told you Richard Dean, he trains. They got the information from him. They put it on my chat room, and then they spoke to the jockey. And then when they was it on my chat room, Robert he came
Yeah, I heard it from a
and
different
spoke about it.
source also. I had a
He's a
source
trainer.
that furnished me with the information.
I just
Yeah,
think that that's a real juicy topic for a
which is
writer,
the first.
for anybody who's making news in a small island like Barbados. I remember I was
Yeah,
just over the weekend. I was speaking to a
yeah,
writer,
yeah,
and she writes for a Pollock Report, and
yeah.
and she was saying that when she was, um, I'll big her up anyways. I'll big her up on the platform. Haley Morrison, and she was saying when she had a short stint down in Bermuda, and it was just a lot of information in a small island. So it was an opportunity to dig really deep. Because a lot of people were tuning into all the news and everything. So for people on the island in Barbados, which is a very tiny island, that's a great opportunity for a bit of juicy news, just to push a little harder.
And the thing is, we just want to know why. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily fighting the rule or saying this. I just want to know why, because I cannot see an upside to it. I just don't. I don't see it. And if you're going to tell me, well, the apprentices can't ride back-to-back races or have the ability or the energy to ride in a derby and then ride another race or ride a race before, that has been proven time and time again. I mean, 1985, I won the Derby as an apprentice. I rode a race after the Derby. I remember the horse I rode was a horse called Greywood Fox. I don't remember the horse I rode before the Derby, but I definitely remember after. But the things you cannot impede someone's ability to make money. That's what you're doing, or to further their career. I mean, that is, especially when the apprentices ride the bulk of the horses in Barbados, as it is. And you frame apprentice races on these big days, I guess, to showcase your talent to the crowds, because bigger crowds come out. But Gold Cup there, there's an apprentice race. So are you going to tell me Gold Cup there? You're going to say apprentices can't ride in the Gold Cup and ride in an apprentice race? I don't know. It's just stupid, man.
It's a great
Irritating.
opportunity to ask those questions, though, to be honest, so you can get more clarity for the future.
Well, you'll know the why, right? It's like, why are you guys doing this? I don't know. So I'll tell you why I'm becoming a member, and I will have to paraphrase because I don't have the document in front of me. But the document came out and it says, if you, and I'm just paraphrasing, so don't quote me on it. Basically, you get less of a breeder's premium if you're just a normal breeder, but not part of the BTBA financial something, maybe financial member. So I made a call and I said, what the hell is this? What is a financial member? So it's explained to me, and I said, okay, well, I'll become a member. So again, I saw the info. I asked a question. Got an explanation. That's why I'm becoming a member.
Well, at least you get all your answers in one.
Yeah, I probably called the right guy.
Yeah, you probably did.
But
Oh, by the way, I wanted to remind you, man, that you're winning the Derby. That was exactly almost 30 years ago.
oh, come on, Derek. It's not, bro. Oh, crap. No way. Oh, Derek.
Yeah,
What
I
I
mean,
did?
it's a bit of
What do you?
history,
What do you?
and you
What do
must
you have
feel
bringing
really
up?
good about that. But it just goes to show you, like this is,
Hey, look. It's the 30th anniversary. The first apprentice ever to win a Derby in Barbados. And no love from the turf club. Nobody will reach out and say, hey, do you want to come home for the race? Do you want this? Do you want that? No love, man. 30 years ago.
and that's probably because the
Uh,
people who
Darwin,
Go ahead, Ken.
Darwin, you got to ask yourself how many people remember that you was the first apprentice in Jersey.
Dude,
You said nobody find Clarke reach out.
the
How
stat
many people remember?
the stats are there though. I mean, they're around the place.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I saw
yeah,
somebody
but
sent me something that was posted in your chat room. Thanks for that. But
about what?
I think you posted something
What it
about
say?
it. I don't remember.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
but I think it was in your chat room. Somebody was talking about it. But again, 30-year
Okay.
anniversary, Derek. Now that you age me. Yeah.
hey, not me, man. I mean, you still look good for a person that rode in the Derby
Do,
30 years ago.
do you want to hear something?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know if
not
I'll
working
correct
around.
you on it. It's
Darwin,
actually 40 years,
Dar-
not 30. 40 years.
it's 40 years, right?
Yeah.
What do you call it?
But I was
Right,
going along with Derek and
right,
it's
it's
30,
1985.
right? I was like, it's 40
It's
years,
only
sir.
after that, right, that was
Sorry,
going
man. I
correct
didn't
on.
want. Sorry. I
I
guess
was.
40 sounds a little bit
Darwin, to
extreme.
tell the truth, right? Uh,
Oh
Darwin,
boy.
to tell the truth, right?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I try to keep my mind in, I try to keep my mind focused on business racing, but my enjoyment is seeing our jockeys and trainers outside doing well. I'm
And
featuring here
they're
all the
doing
time.
well. They're doing
Just
well.
got my
They're
mind,
doing well.
yeah, but the confusion here all the time got my mind just different way.
And
Well,
Barbados is a
my two
hotbed,
jockeys did
so
well today.
I tune in. I split a rocker
Uh,
early this morning, and he told me he got a short head in the first race, and he had right in the seventh and eighth, I think. But I was way out in the boondocks, so I was losing service, and so I don't know how he did after that. But he's doing well. I think I might give Ken some info. I think he's going out to Gulfstream this weekend to ride a couple for Safi.
yeah, I know already.
That might be breaking news, Ken.
I know.
Oh,
I
it's
follow
not
all the
breaking
jockeys.
news. Eh?
No, 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 it's not. It's not breaking
I,
news. I know already.
I,
I check every jockey,
I thought it was
every business
breaking news
jockey,
for you. Okay.
where is every day. No, no. We got late news. That's late news, not breaking.
Oh, sorry. I could be like
Yeah,
CNN. Every bit
yeah.
of news is breaking news.
I know every jockey. I check every jockey months, so I know every business jockey. So I know where it's word and everything. Yeah, he won two out of three yesterday, and he got three races today, and he won one.
Who did? Rock?
Michael, my boy Michael won today. Yeah,
Where did he
Michael
write it?
won yesterday, and he won today as well. Michael husband.
Where's he writing at?
Oh, Michael,
Yeah.
Michael at Colonial Downs.
Okay. Good for him.
Yeah,
I tell you one thing, Ken. He needs somebody in his ear, man.
he's very very.
He needs someone to talk to him to get him on the right track. I honestly think that. That's my opinion.
Okay.
I know you're in love with him, but don't
Yeah,
shoot me.
I
Don't
see
shoot
him.
messenger. I know he's your boy,
Yeah,
Ken. I can read between the tea
yeah,
leaves, But
Wait, hey, I want to ask you
yeah.
guys a question, man, because I'm always curious, always like I'm the person who always asks a lot of weird questions when I'm in group settings and all that kind of stuff. But you said 1995 was the
85,
Derby?
85,
Oh,
bro.
85.
85. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 1995
Okay.
because
Maybe I
I'm
did.
like,
Maybe I
damn.
misspoke, but I know it
No,
was.
no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
I know it was 40 years, but you said 30.
Oh,
I
okay,
was
The
cool.
night,
happy. I was like, I love this man more than I knew
Because
him.
you would have sent me to bed tonight scratching my head, like digging all down my brain. How could 1995 to 2025 be 40
40
years?
years?
I'm like,
Yeah. It's 85.
oh, okay. Now we're clearing that
1985.
and
Yeah.
everybody can live and be happy.
Yeah. I can remember that race like yesterday, actually. Well, those two derbies are they're
well,
etched in my mind.
Darwin, let me
Yes,
ask you a
sir.
question. Yeah, something I want. I know Guineas with Don Juan. So how you got the worry in the Derby?
I
You
don't
can
know if Neil Brewster got off Don Juan because don't forget Don Juan was off from the Guineas to the Derby. He didn't race in between,
well,
and
okay, I didn't know that. I thought
then
you were in
Neil,
the
yeah, no, I don't think he ran in between there. And Neil started riding a horse with Charlie there, Sugar and Spice, and he won a couple of races on that. So maybe
um
he stuck with her.
okay. I thought Ricky had word on the Derby. I didn't know.
No, Neil Brewster,
I thought Ricky had. Okay.
pretty
Like
confident
I'm
Neil
putting on the
Brewster.
spot.
But I told him, yeah,
Between Happy Style, Don Juan, and Liquid Bliss. I know Don Juan and Happy Style won the Derby. But you know Liquid Bliss was a monster, 106 straight. And he won the big race and Martin with him. So out of those three,
yeah.
who you would say is the best road you rode?
Boy, that's a hard question, but I think Liquid Bliss had the most potential. Yeah, but it's a tough question because Don Juan
Hmm.
was a nice grill too. But um,
Yeah.
I would say Liquid Bliss had the most potential. But I would have to say Don Juan was the best because yeah, Liquid Bliss was a monster, man. He was. I'll tell you a quick story about that horse. I had the opportunity to ride him first time out, and I told Bill that he needed some more time. I worked him one morning, and I said, yeah, he needed a little more time. And the governor told me I don't have bloody time, and he was all pissed off at me. So he gave Harry Springer a ride, and the horse won. And then Tyrone was riding more horses for him. And maybe he had a little anger against me, and he never let me ride a horse until we went to Martinique. But I mean, yeah, that horse can run. We were going left hand. I remember. I think Sean was on the inside of me with Border Bounty. Either Sean or Bess. And we were approaching the half mile, and we were about to turn left, and this horse was pulling so hard. I remember I told the jockey at the inside, "I'll see you later," and I just released him, and he was gone. I mean, gone. Yeah, I ended up like pulling up halfway in the stretch, hands in the air, waving, and when I'm getting lead in, Bill is like, "What are you thinking?" He's like, "Don't ever do that again, ever, ever one of my horses." And it was a good lesson because I stopped celebrating within the race. And I tell kids now not to do it. That's my number one rule. Don't celebrate. Don't stand tall. Don't punch the air. Make sure you get that person's horse across the line first. But yeah, Liquid Bliss was a mighty, mighty horse. But Don Juan was too. And I'll tell you a story
What
about.
about what,
Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to tell you a story about Don Juan
No, I was telling
and Sugar and Spice.
Robert Carbon asked for you.
Who did?
Robert Carbon, he was
Well,
asking
you
for
didn't
you just
mention
now.
PU in the whole thing. You said
Yeah, yeah.
Happy Style Don Juan and Liquid Bliss.
Oh, yeah, the reason
He was
I
an
mentioned him because
exceptional
them
horse.
yeah, I forgot him.
Can
But he came on
if
late.
you're I give you a tip. If you're
I have
reading
to go out and come back in.
um
Can you hear
um
me? Uh,
I know what I'll do here. I'll do this. So Darwin, what happened to you? But anyways, we'll go from there. He'll pop right back in. But I was saying to you, Ken, just so you know, so you get information. So if you're reading online, it's probably better.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I was just pretty much going to try to tell Ken that if you're reading online, is good. Um, Not to read online right now because it's a little bit distracting, and you'll be a little bit like kind of delayed a little bit. So just act normally, so that the conversation can be a little bit fluent, right?
Yeah, I'm not.
And
I'm not
that
reading.
way is a lot better.
But anyway, to tell you guys about PU, top Creole, but it was a better horse than PU as a younger horse. I don't know if you can remember this horse called Foyal. You remember Foyal?
Yeah, for yeah. Yeah, he was a Martinican too. He was a
Tremendous,
Martinican just like you.
tremendous, tremendous Creole. I think he would have been one of the better Creoles. Anyway, PU was probably the nicest horse I ever rode. Plenty of speed. He was a sprinter that can carry his speed, and he would literally switch off. You put him in front, you drop your hands, he would switch off at whatever pace you want him to go at. And then when the horses came up to him, he'll grab the bit a little bit, and you can tell him yea or nay, and he'll switch right off again, or he'll get going. I mean, he was so push button. Tremendous, tremendous horse. I don't think, well, obviously I won't be riding anymore, but
I was gonna ask you that. Does that give you the buzz? Like you want to be back there again?
man, look, I'm an old man, but I wish I was still riding, honestly. So I tell jocks not to give it up. Keep riding, if you can. Because it stays with you forever. And then bear in mind, I never rode Green Man in a race, but I had the honor of preparing him for the Stewards Cup, as a work rider. Another tremendous Creole. Yeah, at one stage in his life, he was punching Pew so hard in the face. Pew could not beat Green Man.
Wow.
Yeah. But I was trying to tell my friend Neil Brewster back in 87, 88 that Sugar and Spice was a sprinter. Because I met him in the Derby, I beat him in the Derby, and then everyone said that he moved too late because I think I kicked for home before he kicked in that race. But then we met in a 7.8 race, and I remember going down to the half mile. He kind of engaged Don Juan. We raced up the hill as a pair, and then at the 3 furlong pole, he cruised by me on the bit. And I was foot to board, riding. And when we got back to the quarter pole, Don Juan was making incremental ground, a little bit, just chipping away at the leads he had built up. And I remember turning for home, and I was pulling him up. He just outstayed her. And I remember coming back in the jocks room, and I told Neil, I keep telling you that horse is a sprinter. Because she literally cruised by like she was going to win by a mile. Like Don Juan rally. And I don't remember if it was a classic race, but it was sometime after the Derby with him.
Back in the 80s, like when I listened to, because a lot of times I listened to it on the radio. You were hearing on the radio, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of those horses were like legends because you keep hearing the names over and over and over and over and over, and people will be talking about them. Do you think that that's something that's missing a little bit here in these times too? I mean, you obviously don't want to go back to radio. I mean, it
Yeah,
still
well,
probably comes over, but still.
well we bred a better horse. No disrespect to the breeders right now, but we had much better Creoles. And I mean, Dominus is a good Creole. I think the horse Hurricane, and then there's the other, like Nelos and those horses. Joshua, there's Sprinkling, but we had, like every year we had 5 or 6 good Creoles that went up the ladder and were competitive. And we don't see that anymore. But hopefully it'll come back. Hopefully I can bring it back.
I was gonna say, well, your breeding program and stuff like that you have going on. it's only a matter of time before things start to unfold for you. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah, we have a year. The countdown is on.
how's that going? I mean, in terms of any progress?
Horses are looking lovely, looking better than me.
That's good.
Yeah, they're looking lovely. They're I I'm very impressed. So we'll see if they can run. If they can run half as good as they look, they'll be all right. They'll be decent.
Now, Kent, is it too early to talk about even like besides the Derby? Is there anything else exciting on that day that maybe we can mention with the racing in Barbados?
Nothing as yet. Nothing as yet. Everyone is hoping to top the class race, but it hasn't come off. So,
You know that race was kind of
just the
skeptical
Derby for
from the
now.
get go because you had 5 or 6 of them ran in the race that Zazie won, so I don't think they were coming back. Right. Kent need to start planning the races for the turf club.
I'm pretty sure he'll probably do a really good job there.
Ken, not me.
Is well, just
Right.
curious, what's the purse for the Derby? And you guys know?
$68,000 thousand
I have
dollars
no
plus
idea. Ken should know.
68,000 plus
What,
subscription.
60? Yeah.
68,000 plus subscription. 68,000. Then the
That's
subscription.
not bad at all. That's not bad.
You hear me?
Is that to the
And there's
winner or that's the total purse?
Yeah.
and there's nobody flying in for this
68,000 is the total
race,
price.
right? There's no Tayshawn or there's no none of these guys coming in for this race.
I have no idea.
No, what I hear
He was
St.
actually
John's is.
trying to call me just now.
I,
That's why
I,
he kicked me out the chat.
who's that?
I'm trying to ask questions to the BHN, but the BHN ain't listening.
No, I heard you. I told you that
Okay.
that St. John's is coming to work. St. John's is coming to work his grandfather's horse.
Heidi Marie.
You hear me? Yeah, I
That,
know, yeah.
I think that would be special.
Yeah.
That'd be special because I don't think he's
Yeah.
actually won a race yet here at Woodbine this year. So I mean, like moments like that is always special. It'd be good to see the kid get back into the winner's circle. If is the horse any good? When I say that, I don't mean it disrespectfully. I mean, is it one of the favorites?
It should have a shot. It ran well last
Well,
time. It
she
should have a
ran,
shot.
yeah, she ran fourth in the Midsummer Classic.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Kent, I gotta ask you too because I always um, I I'm just reading something, but I gotta ask you, Kent, because every now and then I look on your Facebook group, and I
Mhm.
always see you guys, well, you in particular, always was trying to do the comparison with Mr. Husbands and Mr. Samuel. It always seemed like you're always trying not to say comparison, but you're always trying to like start a little bit of fire down there. Is that still a
Hey,
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, yeah,
man?
look,
yeah, yeah.
Derek. Let me answer that for Kent. Let me answer that for Kent Lane. Kent Lane is a
Yeah.
British Hill man. Jalone Samuels is a British Hill man.
No, no. You
So
got it wrong. You got it wrong. You got it wrong, Darwin. You got it wrong.
I got
Patrick
it
is the
wrong.
best jockey the Caribbean ever produced. I just bring it up because they think because Jalon wins 6 Gold Cups, he's the best jockey in the world. It don't work. So
Okay.
what Patrick do
But look,
when Jalon win
Jalone,
three
Jalone,
thousand when Jalon win 3,000 races and 185 races in a year, $11 million in prize money. That's what Patrick do. Then they can start talking. Nobody says he's not a
hey,
good
look,
jockey, but
Jalone's a good jockey, but
we
he's
don't
not
understand.
as good as Patrick.
Right, correct. We don't understand, right? Darwin in Barbados, who never heard about it, say they got a basketballer from Clapham Better, Michael Jordan. Or they got a guy from the like a back band swervers. But when it comes to horse racing now, Patrick has done everything like Michael Jordan, and he's still hearing somebody better than him. You can't get on this, huh?
Well,
Nobody
look,
can say basketball and bars better than jogging.
they're not bringing sound debates to it. They're just bringing their opinion, and God bless them. But the numbers that Patrick, no other Bayesian is going to put up those kind of numbers, man. No other Bayesian is going to
Yeah.
win races at that efficiency. I mean, he was a prolific rider. I mean, the problem is maybe some of these guys that are bringing up that argument don't realize how good he was, right? Because he's not as good as he used to be. So maybe they're judging Patrick and what they're seeing right now. A guy that's only getting 3 or 4 rides a day, maybe even a race here and there. Did not see Patrick in his prime.
Well, right. But the thing is that at Patrick age, he's not thinking about championship. Patrick says he want to get the 400 state winners. He's at 380 something now.
Right.
So he thinking about state races.
Right.
He won two already for the year. One in Canada, one in the States. That was Patrick. That race that Patrick won at Trestle Downs. That's Patrick 13th state win in America. They got some jockeys that win in America year in a year.
I think are you taking shots at somebody that we know?
No, you can't be.
No, I'm not taking
He
shots.
went more
But,
than 15.
Darwin know he's only joking just now about Burning Hill, right? I don't about every jockey from Burning Hill get jacked the jacket. I don't care what it is. I think Ricky Griffith is the best jockey Burning Hill produced, followed by Chrissy, and then the rest.
Yeah,
Rick
Ricky's
Walker-
a very good job. Very, very good job. Look, so this could be a debatable subject. If Ricky had the
Right.
opportunity that Patrick had, I think Ricky would have done equally as well. But Patrick, he came in at the right time. Everything. I mean, you cannot replicate that. I don't care which jockey they're saying. For my lifetime or the next, it would not be as good as Patrick Husbands. We can almost stamp him as the best Bajan jockey ever. I would
But,
put money
I
on it.
still think I feel like if like right now we can say that, but because the future, you don't know what the future holds. So there's always opportunity. There's youngsters coming up, so they have a chance. All they gotta do is go to Patrick and say, look, Patrick, look, man, I just want to know the recipe. You know, it was tough.
But
for
there's
you.
no recipe. There's no
But
recipe.
he might give them a tip because he just say, look, I had to do this. Maybe I had to eat a certain way, exercise a certain way, I had to talk with the right people.
I think
whatever.
you're missing. I think you're missing how good Patrick is and was. There's no recipe for that.
It's not that easy there.
There's no recipe for that.
There got to be a recipe because I'll tell you why. There got to be a recipe because I know there's people who follow like Usain Bolt and people from Japan, from all over the place. They would literally go to Jamaica and they would find out like what is he eating, what is he doing, and they just dig and dig and dig until they can find out. I mean, they'll never run like him. And to your point, both of y'all point is that
Exactly.
you'll never be like Patrick, but still, it's still a learning opportunity.
Yeah,
But-
Patrick has natural abilities. Look, Patrick was the most fun jockey that I ever rode with. Everything was fun. Everything was no big pressure. I mean, he had it all, Derek. It's hard to replicate that. And he had the God-given talent.
What make me laugh, right? Darwin, Bajan's using the Go-Kart as a yardstick. So, every jockey coming in 7 Go-Karts now. He's the best jockey in the world.
He's better than Jalone or Patrick.
Yeah, that's how they're using it.
Well, gentlemen, I have to jump off. It was a pleasure being on with you folks.
Why are we looking at your chest? That's not.
Oh,
That's.
I was hoping to turn on some ladies,
I don't think too many ladies are on this horse racing channel, but according to rumor, there might be some other people that might be very curious about your chest.
That's fine. You weren't expecting to hear that, right? Look how nice and sunny is in
Uh,
Seattle, Washington.
one thing before we go, darling.
Yes.
One thing I was gonna add, Darling, a jockey that I can add to. Patrick has done wonderful in overall in Canada, but what Walker has done, 1,000 as a business jockey, 1,000 races in America. I take my hat for the next jockey that can do that.
That might happen though because look, we have I would say better infrastructure. So we got Safi Joseph's training. So if you can, he might help a Beijing, you know.
Who might
Yeah.
help a Beijing Safi?
Safi, yeah, you never know. So you have better
Well, you got
infrastructure. That when Rocco came here, Rocco had to start at ground level.
Michael with the next boy that do it. People coming in now as you leaving now, Darwin.
Oh my God, who's that? Who's coming in?
That's Fat Man, Leroy Fat Man.
Oh,
They
okay.
work at Woodburn.
Yeah,
Bishop. Yeah.
I know
You
Leroy
gotta
for a
love.
long time, man.
That's one of the reasons why I love Barbados so bad, Darwin, because you can call people fat man, ugly man, fat,
But
whatever.
look,
It's no big deal.
Leroy was never fat, so how you can call Leroy fat? How did he get
Is he
that
fat
name?
now?
No, Leroy is always in good shape, bro.
No, there's well, I don't know.
You're talking about Farmer?
Everybody got a nickname. All the good.
Well, I don't know why he even got that
This
inherited
Leroy
that.
Trotman.
Yeah, who used to be
You
assistant to
want me?
You call him what? You call him?
Farmer?
I didn't hear.
Farmer. That was his
I don't think you
nickname.
got the right body, man.
So he
I
is
never heard a boy
Patrick's
call him that,
agent.
no.
You mean Patrick's agent?
No. This Leroy Trotman, he's a groom at Woodburn.
Leroy Troutman.
He went for him out at one stage.
Oh, I know the guy. Yeah. I know the guy. Yeah. He definitely fat man. Yeah. Yeah. I know that
Yeah,
guy.
right. Not Leroy. Not, not Leroy Trotman, the agent. Yeah, right. You got
Right.
mixed up.
Okay. The name had me for a while there when you said Leroy
What made me laugh?
Troutman.
What made me laugh when Leroy Trotman, the agent, came here. Leroy Trotman, fat man said, uh, "What's going on now? The invitation, Leroy Trotman."
Oh my God. Well, the thing is, I only knew Fat Man as Fat Man, so.
Right. A lot of goons, a lot of people don't know the real name.
Oh
But
yeah.
don't you remember Papa D?
Yeah, Papa D. Yeah. Oh
You
yeah,
remember
Papa
Papa D, right?
D.
There was so many.
Yep.
Right. This Leroy Trotman here, that's their family.
Right there, family. Papa D, and they had another guy there. I don't remember his name. And then they had a youngster that used to sing reggae music. Uh,
You mean John Wayne? John Wayne.
I don't know if his name's John Wayne, but
You call him
boy.
John Wayne. Yeah. He
And
live
then,
in New York.
and then they had a guy that we used to call him Priest. He was a mechanic on Flagstaff. He's family to them too. Anyway,
Oh,
Papa
I know that
D,
one.
and Papa D got a younger brother. Oh, he used to be with Lizine all the time. He's loud as a
I know
motorbike.
Alfred, his brother.
Yeah, Alfred, them are
I
family.
know
Yeah.
Alfred, his brother is Richard. But
Yep.
yeah. But you know that Papa died. You heard Papa died, right?
I think so. Oh, I don't remember this kid's
Yeah, he
name,
died in
but I like to
England.
see him. But he's loud.
His name Magoo.
Magoo,
Said the guy named Magoo.
yeah. Pagoo, yeah. Yep, that's his name.
I don't know.
He's
Yeah.
he's loud as a motorbike, man. Pagoo, yeah. Anyway,
He before my time. Yeah, he before my time.
he's
I
around
want
your
to.
time, man.
I know him.
Hey Ken. Hey, by the way, if you if you only take that same energy and you poke at Barbados Turf Club and get those answers, you'll be in good shape here, man. But you know about everything else, but besides that news that we need to know about.
Yeah, get the info for us, Ken.
Well, well, we get it.
Garrett, we might have to put him on the payroll,
Yeah,
man.
we get it tomorrow, man.
Yeah, I think
Investigator,
so.
Yeah,
journalist.
we get,
You might be like Derek. You might get an award.
yeah, we get,
You gotta dig deeper, dude.
well,
Yeah, you
hopefully,
got you gotta beat
yeah,
you gotta beat up Miss Spears.
we get it
All
tomorrow.
right, all right, guys. I'm driving. I'm on the
Yeah,
freeway, so
we get it. Yeah, all
It
right.
was nice
we will
talking to you,
definitely link
darling.
up. Hey, Derek,
Yeah, cool.
remember that thing we spoke about? We gotta get it going, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Definitely coming on after this weekend. We'll get this going. All right.
All right, sounds good. You guys have a good night. Thanks for having
All right.
me.
All right.
All right,
Cool.
bye for now.
All right. Take it easy.
All right.
All right, Kent.
yeah,
Okay, so I'll continue.
yeah,
I'll try my best to ask you some questions while you're still there, and you tell me if you wanna continue or what, right? But um, in terms of the racing in Barbados, I'm not that familiar with the horses and everything because it seems like if there was actually like um, past performances that you can see online or whatever, it'd be a lot easier to pull it up. But with the horses' names and stuff like that, it's really tough to really to follow them unless you got your situation in Barbados, right? So maybe you can share a little bit more insight on the horses in the races coming up next week.
which verse? Other than the
Besides the
Derby?
derbies, besides the derbies, any young horses, stuff like that.
No. Well, the tours ain't come out as yet. I we gotta go back to the entry and see what the next set of interesting race I have. Yeah, I was real disappointed in no A class race, but you know that's how it goes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I guess after this derby, is there another big race or another staple?
But no. Uh, I feel there was not they had the British Sprint, but that's not really big. The other big race that we got is boxing there,
Oh, okay. So I mean, like to be honest, like I
and
mean, it's
before
almost
boxing there,
August.
before before boxing there is I don't know if they're gonna have another jockey challenge ready and the jockeys come down. That'll be in November.
Okay. So where I mean, how many
Yeah.
times did they have that?
Last year that was about the eighth time they had it.
If time.
Yeah.
Do you find
It had a little break around COVID.
uh
You were saying something?
Yeah, I was saying, do you think that it's a big attraction, or is it kind of like meddle with jockeys businesses elsewhere, or is it something that
No,
people
no,
are
no,
interested in?
no. People are interested in it, and it's right in the tourist season. A lot of people look forward to it. And it's after the English racing season because the English racing season finishes in October, right? And the tourist season starts around that time, and a lot of tourists follow those jockeys. So they have a good little crowd around that time, and a lot of Bajans look forward to it because they play those jockeys in the pools, and the jockeys got a lot of following.
So
So and then people come out, or who's the jockeys that come in, and it got a little excitement. I spoke to the guy that puts it on, Jeff Loudon. He said he wanted to become as big as the Gold Cup. He got to put in more work to get as big as the Gold Cup, but it's coming. I would say is the third, is after the Gold Cup, Derby and boxing there. I consider the fourth biggest there on the card.
Do, do you think there's more fans watching races in England versus USA and Canada?
Mention more. What do you mean?
Well, you mentioned that
What do you mean? So,
they usually do it right after the races in England. So my question is why do they do it after the races in England? Because then does it interfere with English racing? Is that why it's after the races in England, or because there's a lot of
yeah, the
jockeys
reason,
in Canada and some in USA and all.
right, yeah, but the reason is because the jockeys come from England that are in the championship. So they do it when the season's over and after the British Cup because most of those jockeys were in the British Cup and stuff. But last year we had one jockey from America. We born in the Caribbean, Caribbean Quicker, but they do it after the English season done and finish in October, and then they do it late November after the British Cup is finished. So even got no clashing. But one or two of those jockeys were in the British Cup and stuff. We had some good jockeys over the years that came here. Karen Fallon, Frankie Dettori. A lot of people don't even know that Frankie rode here. Last year we had Jim Cody, who was champion jockey in England. Jimmy Spencer came. A couple girls came that were running good in England. But it's hard to get North American jockeys because North American racing from January 1st to December 31st. So you really can't get those top jockeys like that. Then a lot of those top jockeys are retainer. And then the next thing too, the jockey challenge here, the jockeys don't work for prize money. Like when you hear about the World Jockey Challenge, they work for over $100,000. The winning team gets over $100,000. I don't know if you get that big in time to come. And then there's a jockey challenge in England called the Shagar Cup. You get a big trophy and prize money. And Jim Wilson won it a couple times. So I think it's a good thing. You look to get better from here. But a lot of people look forward to it. A lot of people
So
like to see those in the jockeys right here against our jockeys.
so pretty much they're doing some people a favor by showing up and riding horses in Barbados during that time because the price doesn't make sense, right?
Um, I spoke to a couple from Canada, a couple of my friends. Can't, my boss will let the country go a cut, but when they look at it for his money, shipping, you know, Melnick was a billionaire, right? So he could afford all of that. But some people don't see it as profitable, right? And my other thing was to get a cup. He wasn't interested in the money. See, like Ramsey, the Go cut is only 60,000 US dollars. That's a normal allowance race in Canada, right? So a lot of the guys just come here for fun. They don't. The prize money is nothing to them. See, 60,000 allowance race. I would like to see it go up. I don't know what will happen.
So that
I mean,
so that's interesting
the Go
because
cut was
okay, I don't want to talk with you, but what I'm saying is so that's interesting because I mean it's not a lot of money is a allowance race somewhere else, but for the jockeys who are taking part in it, who are born in Barbados, who are not that fortunate to have a lot of money or whatever, this is an opportunity for them. So they even try harder and they put a lot more effort. So why not kind of utilize those opportunities and not only to use them, but to also put them on a big stage and increase their profile too as well.
I don't want to see. I don't want something like putting on the race, but for $60,000, $60,000 US, it's not. We have the atmosphere, and it's our biggest race. It's every jockey dream here to win. But I hear Rocco talking about the Mutema. You want really Mutema? You want really Mutema? That's $300,000 US, right? Not that you win like they win a Gold Cup, but the guy's looking for. I think it's about 20 prize money. Whereas I want 20 Gold Cup was the richest race in the Caribbean. Now we at number three. Jamaica and Ghana got bigger purses than us now.
Does that
So
what does that do for you as a sports writer when you hear that you'll be demoted to number three versus having the biggest
yeah,
purse in the Caribbean?
yeah, yeah. I disappointed with that because when I see Julian Laperoux, were then in Jamaica, and those big jockeys, every Gold Cup goes at $300,000 US. A lot. I know people say, "Oh, the track too tight and guys fighting. I know a lot of those guys can come here, and more of those owners. But Ramsey, as I said before, it's just a fun thing for Ramsey. You know, he never care about the money. He just care about the cut. He run for trophies. But every prize money go out, a lot of those guys and Beijing owners too will step up and buy better horses. I saw a number of owners that tell me can't man, I would more buy a local bird because they're running for more money. Right? The imports don't have enough races here to run for it. You know, so the guys don't see it profitable to buy imported. We only get boy importers coming here. No, not much. Once we go, a lot of other owners will take it serious. It might come over here by the end of the year that they sign and put in some more money. That'd be good, but we'll see.
Let me ask you a question because I know that
Uh,
you like to write a lot about um, on your Facebook page. You do definitely big up Micah a lot. You big up Rock a lot too as well, but definitely Micah. So you think that with all you're doing, because I mean what you're doing is helping as well, that eventually you'll get to see Micah right in Barbados.
well, again, about it, we say I write about every business jockey that I ran, not only Michael, right? Every business jockey ran, and I able to see it because everybody think that I be watching race every day and I might be doing something, you know. I write about every jockey business. I can give you a story now. I call it jockey name too. The two jockeys I remember was going across the paddock and wish he was his second. There's a little guy that wanted to write that time about him, but he too shy. There was a guy Sacha in Paris. Yeah, at that time he first started out. So a lot of those guys like at first I never to really take it serious, but a lot of those guys see it as exposure when they write something on the page about them. You know? He win a couple races on in Canada last year. You know, he went to the first thing they went in and he improved a little bit. So I work with every jockey again, right? I might got a favorite, but nobody don't know who's my favorite. They just see me write about a jockey and say, well, that's the favorite. But I write, but who win? Nobody don't want to read, but who ran 748,
We,
right?
we definitely
everybody,
we definitely
everybody want to win a race.
we definitely know who's not your favorite based on what we see on your Facebook page. Is that fair to say?
Well, I think we jump in a little bit thing there. I when I see something and I see a jockey make a mistake, I talk about it. You know, Michael made some errors in the races, and I talk about it, right? So I wouldn't say that I jump at a man that is not my favorite. Nobody don't know who's my favorite from my favorite. Well, I can say in a way, people know that I like Patrick, and I think the record show the man is the best. I mean, what is going on in Sunday horse racing? Nobody even dispute that Brian Lara is not the best or Michael Jordan, but they want to dispute that Patrick is not the best. I can't get that on the sign. That's dumb. So nobody will never say Michael Jordan is not somebody. He might got the records to prove. Brian Lara got all the runs. Patrick got even other people better than him. That got me when it comes to horse racing. It does just got me. It's already said somebody got a favorite and this body like this body, but you can look at mine, but I feel mine better on paper. Somebody say like Ray Williams. That's what I like Ray Williams. Somebody here on the sidelines here, but I wouldn't say that Ray is the best. Because all odds are he's better than Ray. He's a good rider, right? So that's what it was. Yeah.
There's a lot of jockeys, man. A lot of jockeys, and I guess opportunity. How it comes about. That's the key, really, right? Is getting the opportunities.
Well,
I mean, I was speaking
well,
to
well, well,
an owner. I was speaking to an owner
yeah,
over the weekend, right,
yeah.
Ken, and he was
Yeah.
saying to me that his horse didn't win because the jockey didn't do a good job, right? So the question is um, are jockeys some jockey is it opportunity or some jockeys definitely are much better than others?
Well, I can put it this way: horse racing to me, 90% horse and 10% jockey. You got the best horse, and some jockey make uh, a split second decision, and they go down a pocket, boom, lost. So horse racing got so many parables to lost a race and ring. So some jockeys tell me can't. They were the best. What you think is the best race, and they got beat. And then some jockeys tell me can't. Maybe 2 mistakes in our race and they still win. A lot of people don't know, right? People when see a jockey go down a pocket, but they don't see other things. So here's a arrangement drop with a jockey hand that they don't see. but only back stretch. So I thought a lot of jockeys they know these things.
So
Yeah,
I was well. That was my
I know.
question. That was going to
I
be my
know.
question to you about writing. Like, is it fair to say because there's a lot of basketball coaches who never played basketball, and a lot of times when you start talking about certain sports, people discredit you because you don't write or you've never written, but they try to discredit your ability to talk about the sport. So I was just going to ask you about that. So you don't write, but definitely you hear a lot from the other jockeys.
Yeah. Right, correct. I got a lot of jockey friends, and they're talking. Chris Griffith is my good friend. He knows a lot about wording. He tells me a lot of things. But somebody will get back to you about everybody say, "Well, Patrick get the break." It made me laugh. Patrick just not getting on the horse. But what about how disciplined he was? A lot of jockeys even call the name coming at 126 pounds in Canada when they get take off. I hear what you get the break. That would make me laugh, right? Patrick's a very disciplined rider. What about the men that come in late at work? That could might work in Barbados, but everybody tell me in Canada, if you get there late, somebody else on the horse. They don't talk about these things, but then when the jockey feel up there, oh, you didn't get the break. I get to hear that. Patrick's he was a very disciplined rider. I mean, when I saw him, he very disciplined rider. Look at those guys. Look at those guys' career compared to other guys that were not disciplined. So no, when I hear this break thing, it make me laugh. Hey, so what you didn't get the break? When I hear that this body didn't get the break and next body didn't get the break, what you didn't get? They ain't telling you come in 40 pounds overweight and get that down, or you come in 5 minutes late and the trainer say, "Well, I got somebody else already." You don't hear them things. It's just here you didn't get the break. So that's what make me laugh. Patrick is disciplined. He he work hard. He do his homework, and that's what he got to. I even say it. I'm not saying that any other workers that are not disciplined and putting hard work, but Rico Walker, very skillful jockey, disciplined, putting hard work, and he's success
Yeah, he's
among
been
other
through a
workers. I
lot.
don't use him Rico, right? And I'm very glad to see how he's got. There's a thing too. Again, back at, I know Darwin's only joking. Oh, this boy from Brunel. There's some jockey from Brunel that I know about. Just because they live over here, he gets it, he's the best in the world. It don't work, so yeah, it don't work, yeah.
Is there any other
Yeah, so
writers or persons that with a public visibility like yourself who is as passionate about horse racing as you are?
well, I would say Layne he's more racist. Only me and Linda really work. And the time I work more racist too, but he work about other sports too. I only work about horse racing. I already as I told you before, you guys me anything more than two sports, I will tell you I don't really follow other sports to that extent. Yeah,
And how are you doing? Anyways,
but
I mean, you had the accident. You better now.
yeah, yeah, I'm a lot better. I can feel that man could have got stronger, but I'm not gonna go and stand up on it till they get the organ from the doctor and put me back because I ain't going back through that again. But my surgeon did a good job. I had the best orthopedic surgeon in Barbados and did a very wonderful job. I can feel the difference. So yeah, my ankle is a lot better. I'm very glad I didn't break my whole foot. But somebody asked me, how you think you break your ankle and you want to break your foot? You can break your finger, that don't mean you break your hand. We make you laugh with these kind of things.
I want.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. With your injury, obviously you're recovering, and are you losing weight or are you gaining weight? In a case like this.
Well, that's an excellent question. For some reason, I ain't put on it. And like the same, my mom said the same thing.
You're putting on weight.
And I ain't doing as much. I'm gonna go, no, I'm not.
Oh,
And she said she was surprised because I'm not really moving around. Well, I know like I get constant moving, but I didn't put it on weight. No,
well, is it probably, what? My
no.
theory is you're
I'll be
probably
walking
eating in
too.
different places when you're moving around a lot. So maybe you're not eating so many different places now.
Yeah, but a number of jockeys reach out to me for the accident. Rocco, nobody don't know about. No, easy basketball to talk to. Nobody don't know more about injuries than him. He said, "Can't why you gonna be funny, man? I had, I remember how man Patrick reached out to me and said, "Can't." I think he told me two broken feet and two broken left. He had a lot of broken bones in his career. He said, just them on the nature ticket course, going to see. But I'm ready for the see yet. So yeah, two of them reach out to me. Yeah.
Hmm. That's good. I'm glad to hear that them guys
So
reach
yeah.
out to you, man. That's a good thing because they know the amount of work that you
Yeah.
put into what you do too. So it's good when those guys who are watching or whatever they can say, hey, look, I hope you're feeling better. That's pretty cool, man. Good to hear.
Yeah. It was make me laugh on my chat room. The guys will talk about Ryan Moore whole day. For me, when I see walk over in the race, any bitch and jockey, I feel good. You know, that way he's worked out about them. I ain't leaving up my bitch and jockeys to back Ryan Moore or another Frankie or whoever the case maybe whoever they would say. I would like to see um um one of our bitch and jockeys, you know, win a British Cup. That you know, we are our goons win the British Cup. We have two trainers that win the British Cup, Safi and Sir Michael. But I would like to see a jockey win now. Bitch and jockey no.
I want to ask you this, Kent, because you I guess you pay attention to a lot of these jockeys and to the races because you tell me about races all over the world. But as a writer, as a person, as a fan who's watching the races, do you mainly just concentrate on a jockey um, winning races, or do you like personality when it comes to jockeys? Like join after the races or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I mean, like
You talk about when
who wants to watch
you talk about
a
what you like.
champ and he's a boring person to talk to or whatever, right?
But, um, I don't really. Uh, I do jogging on the track. I mean, I become friends with some of the words because you know you get the product, you meet people. But after the main down right in, that's the damn thing. You know, I'm not friends with every jockey at Garrison. Cole Carter is my personal friend. Chris Griffith is my personal friend. I don't really say close to Ray Williams, but he lived close to me and he showed me. I ain't really close to Rico, but he showed me because he lived around the corner near Ricky. But it's certain things, right now, it's certain things I look for in a jockey. But everybody in Barbados, like, other jockeys that don't low on the saddle, like, for up party, oh, he's the best. I look for a jockey to break ours. I like to see us. I like a strong finisher in the race. That's why I like Rocco. He's aggressive. Geelong, aggressive jockey. Right, Bishop is a strong jockey. But then I look for a a jockey who can rate the players. Well, I like jockey right for any players. You know, Rocco put ours at the front, you right in the middle, you right at the back. Right? Some jockeys can't front run. Some jockeys can't come with the back. Right? All them things is like that. Ricky Walker is a very smart jockey. You know, he could he knows players good. I hear a lot of and they talk a lot of trainers too, and they tell me right that with the booking, he knows players well. A lot of jockeys can't judge players. All those things is like that. But in Barbados, Beatrice get carried away but pretty sick. Donald Jones never had him pretty sick. The father, I never see Charlie Jones very live, but he watched it, so he's not a pretty jockey, but he's a smart jockey. You got to look for it. You got to know what jockey is. The judge player, some of his men come too late in the race. That's hard that right, the race done. Yeah, you got no pace. You got no fast the race going. Them
I
things is like
I
that.
definitely I definitely agree, and I give you an example before I ask you another question here, but give you an example. I was watching a state race down in California, and yeah, I think it was a short field too, but I think my guy Kizushi Kimura was on a favorite, and definitely I thought he had a better horse, but my Juan Hernandez when they turned for home, Juan Hernandez forced Kimura to keep going wider and wider, almost like to the stands, to the stands area. It took him so wide and put him out the race. I thought, in my opinion, and eventually Hernandez won the race. So I mean, being smart, clever, those are very important factors too. I want to ask you this before you comment on that, but do you think we as fans or whatever that we put too much focus on the jockeys and not the horses?
Well, I think it's 50-50. From a business point of view, business like ours and like jockeys. I can't really say that. Business, we put one before the other. I think 50-50. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I remember
yeah.
I remember when I
But
first started doing this online thing, and I chatted with Jim Bannon, who used to work for Woodbine, and he said definitely the jockeys are the biggest stars in the sports in the sport. So there's an opportunity there. Jockey, the horses don't do a lot of talking, but opportunities jockeys, they got personality. They can swing it either way. They can swing it where you you label them as a villain, or you can really love them. You know, so definitely, and especially if a jockey won a few races for a person, people get attached to him too as well. So definitely, I can see that.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. But what you said earlier, you could check it. The first thing business look at is a pretty seat. Right? That don't mean racist. Rating jockeys about tactics and smartness. Who could judge pay? If you could judge pay is good, Ricky Griffith could judge pay is good. But I think business get carried away with this pretty seat thing. Who say no pretty? That ain't rating. He right. I mean, listen, those guys in North American boy, I'm talking about seat. He's talking about who could judge pay is good. Yeah, and then it's not a here too. Well, this jockey didn't win because he got good words. But when he lost, no, easy worse.
Hmm.
That's what made me laugh.
So I mean, like you're bringing a lot of facts into the conversation, or what you may think is facts. I'm not sure how factual they are. Maybe somebody else could mention it. You know, some down the line
But
in the comments or
but
somewhere.
when yeah, but when you study horse riding, it is every trainer likes to jockey that the judge play as well. He starts in the morning when the trainer come out and say, "Want this horse breeze 2 and 23." You could ask any of the guys that listen here on sideline. I say my friend Leroy Trotman, he's a groom. He's here when the Marlon Price, he's a groom. They hear when the trainer talking to the jockey, I want 2 and 23 or 24, you're going on the judge pace. They don't get on the roof, they don't pretty that time. You and I understand some of the trainers down there, you go too fast and that. The trainers mad. You got all the judge. Every jockey don't get right, you might be a second out. But some jockeys be
Well,
precise. You got all
I
the judge
understand what
pace.
you're saying.
That's the main.
I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying, but I'm just trying to
Yeah.
to make a point here. So in saying that, we see a lot of Barbadian jockeys who may not get a lot of mounts and may not get um, a lot of wins throughout the year. Are you saying that the other jockeys, I'm talking for Canada in general, are much smarter than the Barbadian jockeys? Then
No,
is that what
no,
you're saying?
no. Uh,
So
Sometimes
why they're not getting the
listen,
runs
as
then?
I say, no, as I say, Australia got a lot of parables. So you see a match change agent, then you start to get a lot of words, right? Australia got a lot. I mean, I can give you a example. Deshaun Gaskin, when he was in Down West, he won 4 races that year, or 100 and something. When he went to Woodbine, let the difference, right? So, right, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say, the same asked me, I wouldn't say that. He surprised a lot of people. One of the
Yeah,
guys
he
that
did well.
surprised me I, this year, that one of the guys surprised me. I didn't look him for the win some races was the guys that rode forward. When he left, he only won 4 races. I didn't really looking for him. I know I would see he win 1 or 12. What about him? But I didn't looking for the takeoff. Right? He's running very well. He got the horse's position good. He's judging players good, and he's a. I mean, one of the things that surprised me, I didn't looking for the how you finish on a horse. That's. But not everybody. First thing everybody like how he sit down. I don't look for all that. I don't check from the seat. The man got strong. He's real aggressive in the finish. He didn't really do that. He wasn't like that here. So you can see that's the things that you improve on. His position, gonna you got DVD in the finish. Yeah, he's an exceptional. Right? He can be. I ain't really want to be the real exception, but how he take off. Yeah. Um, this is another thing when a jockey older apprenticeship. You don't get the number where he's like Gaskin. Gaskin was against 7 and 8 last year. You didn't get 2 and 3. With apprenticeship, but he's still picking up 1 or 2 wins. So he's showing you that his bug is gone. Like who we North American say, but he's still working. He's still winning. He's still working the same way. He's still positioning the artists the same. Gaskin's a very good worker. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good rider. You just numbers are not really showing right now.
Right, as I said, come out of apprenticeship. He's not running that much. So before he was getting 40 words, and he used to write 2 a day. I don't think he ever went 2 words in a day. I know he's only getting 2 words. Right? And when you get 2 words, it's gonna be hard to win all 2 of those. Right? He only get 2 and 3 a day now. But Woodman is coming very competitive. With the numbers, and we get a lot of talkers, and then they see it's um it's the fat this thing I want to talk about. I'm glad fat man say gas in the hard worker. It's make me laugh in Barbados. Some guy can tell me, oh, this jockey ain't gonna skip the hard worker. That's got me puzzled. So you telling me because I'm so skillful already don't got work hard? That man, I'm a jockey. Everybody don't take off, but some guys I know guys that Quincy Welch. He didn't start off as a prolific writer, but he work at it and work at it, and then he get good. But Bayesians don't think because a man don't start good, if he start shaky and he work hard to get at top, he's not good. That's stupid. Uh, Slade Jones, he started off shaky. He work hard at it, and he can only be a Sovereign Water winner. Where Williams never won a race in Barbados, Steve in Canada. He was a Sovereign Water winner. So this thing about this boy ain't got no skill and they work hard. He's only a hard worker. He probably makes me laugh for that. I don't even get these things for. Yeah.
I still believe it's all about the connections. It's all about the people around you. I believe so. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
if you don't have
yeah.
the support from the
I agree with
owners
you.
and getting the horses,
Right,
you're not going to win any
right.
races.
Yeah, that's. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. That's put the icing on the cake. That isn't it? I think that goes back to the saying that we're talking about just now. You go come to the agent and stuff. So you would see a guy ain't really been in the races and no change the agent. You getting a lot of worries. It's who you know and stuff. So comes down to all of that. Happens all the time. Um, I was seeing Santana wasn't really getting worries when I know he's a good watching national racing. When he and Stephen Musa broke up, look, start talking on he's winning. If you got 4 ways, he's winning too. Last year, he was struggling when Musa break up. That's another thing too. I think you see, his only thing to want stable. That's cause of the workers because you're waiting for that stable so much. I mean, he's trying to get away. You can struggle because he's not really waiting for other people. But I glad to see Santana taking off because he didn't really doing so well when he broke up with Musa. I don't know if you pick up that.
You mean Ricardo Santana?
Yeah.
Well, he had an issue also, not issue, but there was something that came up in the winter, right? It was some DUI or whatever, right? Uh, Driving under the influence or something. And after that, I noticed that his business went down a little bit. So I wonder if that affected the situation. And hopefully, is change.
Well, I read a lot of things. I didn't even see that he had a problem with the DA thing. I didn't even know that. I can remember that. Maybe read it, but I can remember. But yeah, when those sort of things happen, that's set by your business. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of
But
factors when it comes to horse racing.
I'm very proud of our Bajan horsemen, not only jockeys. But what made me laugh, I can understand business can respect we cricketers, we wrestling cricketers, Yeah, and if you hear yesterday they got bowled for 27. Right? People were breaking like sleep to watch them. What the kind of horse race, he's here. Oh, my can't he can't beat a rod. That make me laugh. Right? What we can back our Bajan or horsemen always back with cricketers. And cricketers feeling all the time that disrespected them, but that's true. And Bajan still backing them.
I think horse racing might be
Yeah, but I think Barbados.
a different angle when it comes to sports because I think like a lot of times like you can rely on your raw physical ability and talent, and you know that you'll do well as a sportsman yourself. Like if you're a good basketball player or a good soccer player, you know you have that physical ability that you can do things, right? You can make things happen. A tennis
Mhm.
player or whatever, right? But when you gotta rely on owner, a trainer, I would say more owner than trainer, because when you speak with the trainers, from what I'm hearing now, they shifts it and say the owner don't want me to ride you or whatever, right? So if you're gonna rely on that, then you have to hope that these people who are owners would be able to give you a ride, and that's simple as that. If not, then as good as you are, you think you are, you're not going to be doing well. So your physical ability, is kind of diminished.
Okay.
Well, I mean, at least that's
But
my
if you, yeah, no, no, I mean, when I look in the early times when jockeys are first going to Canada, a jockey told me, I won't call his name. When he told me he first went to Canada, everyone said, "Oh, you want that time Ricky Griffin no going up there?" And he was getting warm in there. The guy said, "Where you going? You want to see Ricky there struggling?" I know we guys going up there winning championships. I think there's too much negativity, right? At the sports, everybody's be wishing the guys well, but when it kind of race, too much negativity, I see. But I mean, I think our horsemen could put alongside our careers. Someone could Stoke, Patrick, Safi, yeah, the top icons. I think if we didn't have any horsemen that well, Someone could Stoke is only sir. I know we can't get about them like other anymore because we're Republic, but three of them are the our three top horsemen. Yeah, with Safi and someone could Stoke, you open the doors first. Yeah. When I met her, I learned how to tell a guy. Someone could Stoke is not an Englishman. You know how he talk. People out there think that he born in England, I had to tell the guy, no, man, he's Belgian.
I
A lot of
guess.
people, even people in Barbados, think that he's an Englishman.
Why is that?
Yeah, because I talk about like younger generation. They really talk. He don't talk like a Belgian, so they think that he's an Englishman. I had to tell a younger guy, tell him no, he's born in Barbados. Then they got spent his family out here. These totes from St. Philip. 100 horses, their families are him, brothers and nephews. Yeah. Um, I don't want to get too personal, but some guy told me, I can't, what you, somebody don't talk about Barbados, and I don't know, right? But Safis always say, about Barbados and talks about Barbados, and everybody got a different personality. I don't know why. That's why a lot of people doesn't know that. Somebody so is right here, because they already mentioned Barbados, but that's his thing. But Safi mentioned it all the time, so everybody all over know and he still talk like a Belgian. You don't put on like a Yankee.
There
So,
might be a few factors
yeah,
involved with that too. I don't know for sure. I don't know the history of Stout. I'm saying it could be a lot of factors. Maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of factors when it comes to
yeah,
that. So I can't. I want to know.
yeah.
I'm just saying there's a lot of factors because accents are accents. And, I mean, there's people accents is just accents. You know what I mean? So straight up, that's just it. You know.
Wait a little bit. Wait a little bit. Safi every interview he has, uh, you always mention, you always talk about when even the triple con with autonomy in Barbados. That's still even after even the British cut. That's still you still was out here, you know. Even the Gold Cup this year, and you still talks about the triple con you win in Barbados because that's where you start.
Are those things important to persons like yourself who are on the ground in Barbados? When you start hearing about the people who left Barbados, they made themselves into something in the sport, and they always big up where they're from, and they mention it. Is that a big deal for people on the ground?
Yeah, a lot of people, as they say, the first thing I don't really talk this in public, but a lot of people say, "Oh, Stoke don't mention Barbados. You forget where you come from." I say that, and they like Safi because Safi say, uh, I want the triple crown with Barbados every time. He talk about it all the time. Every interview, even when he British cut, he still talk about every time he triple crown. When he go cut, he still talk because he's always talk where he start. Right, that's when he first starts running. So he don't ever forget that. So a lot of people respect him for that. And then a lot of people respect him too because uh, you get a lot of jockeys a chance. You know, when you say horse in Canada, you can put we feel like on the way. You get Patrick or Roy Crawford or Roy Kevin. You know, you have both Micah, Geelong was there, Latchman. Right, this fight thing, he's helped people. He's trying to convince the owners to put up this body. That's another thing too. Right, everybody feel that. Hey, he got big his owners too because Safi don't have this, right? He guys are convinced the owners to get this guy a shot. So I looking for that too. He getting jockeys a break and a lot of I think one or two of our Belgian goons up there with him too. Um, Jason Leacock and a couple exercise riders now came back from Safi. So you know he's give people a break. That's good. When he first went out there, remember I used to write about him. That time he got called up, and people used to say, "Well, we don't come back here." But that time when he had 4 hours there, they didn't think you get success right away. It don't work so. I know. Look, yeah, look the difference now. Breeders' Cup. It's gonna be harder to win a Kentucky Derby. There's only one race of Breeders' Cup. You got 2 days. I would like to see win a Kentucky Derby, but not like it's very hard.
Well, I think he's done pretty
Yeah,
good so far, and we see that he's become a name now in horse racing, not only in the USA, not only in Barbados, also in Canada, and I'm pretty sure across the pond too as well. So I think he's won some big ones. He's done enough to get on people's radar. You know, it's not like his name is not mentioned now.
yeah.
When his name is mentioned, people know exactly who he is. So whatever he's doing, like I was saying to you guys earlier, you were saying there's no recipe to follow Patrick, but definitely um, there's something there that people can follow. You know, there's a lot of people who always say, "Man, I keep it real," you know, and that kind of attitude. But yeah, keeping it real. Safi keeps it real too. But I'm definitely sure he keeps it real enough that he has a formula in how he's gonna conduct business and do things. So that's another part too. So we can always learn. You know, some of the good people
But
tend to follow patterns. They tend to look at. That's why we love history so much because we like to look back at history and say, "Hey, look, this is what happened," and we try to study it and see maybe there's a formula somehow. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
um, well, you know, you can copy things from people. You
You're
know,
not copying.
I
You're
copy
definitely
things to
not
make you
copying.
off.
I mean, if you're
Well,
if you play basketball,
I
Ken,
call it copy.
play
I call it
basketball,
copy.
soccer, and you see like
No, I call it copy.
you're not gonna copy it, but you definitely try to do things just as good.
Well, I call it copying because you say recipe, right? So I just say copying. I just use that word. But you know, I come out in draft and I try to follow things. I have been successful. But someone would do something with Patrick, but I don't mean you get there. I'm not saying that they're not going to be and then get success, but as Darwin told to uh, repeat with Patrick, they very hard. Right? Everybody would say that. Well, Patrick's the only jockey right now that business jockey right now running the British Cup. But say Walker come and win one, somebody might get a break, get a good horse, and it happens. And then you hear the whole argument over again, or he buying a Patrick and Walker got his records in America, Patrick got his records in Canada. A lot of people don't really see what Walker did to win 1,000 races in America. You know, that's a lot of the Caribbean riders that were in America. They went to school there and started there. Walker started in Barbados, right? And he worked his way up. He worked at the small tracks and worked his way right up.
Hey, look,
So
sometimes these things are not so
I
straightforward, and you look at grade ones and grade threes and all kind of stuff, but don't forget that Kevin Nichols just won a grade two on Wicked the Django, which is completely a Barbadian connection, some one way or the other. So I mean,
yeah,
those are little things
yeah.
that little steps that sometimes go missing, right? We focus on
Uh,
the
so
on a few people.
something I want to talk about too that business made me laugh, right? Everybody like Michael, people say, "Oh, he got to come here to prove that he good." The man win race on the world stage. We had some footballers that really play football in Barbados much, and they went away and get scholarships and do good. I don't hear anybody say, "Oh, you got to come back here and play at national stadium to prove you good." You know, business is kind of some things that horse racing has made me laugh. They don't hear it in sports.
I
A
think
lot of cricketers don't really play cricket here, and it's going to play on the cricket in England. I don't hear anybody say, "Oh, you should be playing universities to prove you good," right? But I don't know why. Yeah,
I
the,
think to
the, the
be
same with Michael. Huh? Yeah,
I
go ahead,
think
go ahead.
maybe to be I think maybe to be validated by the fans in on the island, maybe that's what they're talking about. But if you're talking about like complete overall, you got to look at the sport. You got to look at whatever they're involved with, because if you let me draw my example. So soccer. So if you're a soccer artist, big up my guy King King Cuddy. Um, if you're a
Yeah,
soccer artist,
yeah.
and and I just take the opportunity. But if you're a soccer artist and you doing things in Canada or USA, and you're not coming back to Trinidad or come back to Barbados or even St. Vincent, then I don't think the soccer community is gonna validate you that well or receive you that great unless you have a really big hit or something outstanding. I think in sports is the same thing. Barbados is not known for being great in football or but being great in cricket. So maybe that's what the fans mean. But to your point, in horse racing, I don't see it where you have to prove yourself to be that great in Barbados to be an excellent jockey or whatever outside of Barbados or whatever.
If we had example, right? I know, not saying that when Patrick one second he go cut this year. Next, we remember that this man just come from winning the $1 million race last year. He got buy him because he ran second, he go cut. You know good. They just got me. You know, they just make me. They
And I
just make
think
me
that's
laugh.
because somebody lost their money. That's why.
Well, some people that
I
even
think that's
bet
because somebody lost
that
their
even,
money.
but I talk people that even bet in the race. Right? I think I'm not saying that you should laugh at Barbados, but when a man on top of game on the national stage because he win 10 Gold Cups, you can see nigga. That's make me laugh, man. I feel very proud when I see Patrick and John Velasquez and they're going to the line and Jockey win. You know, I feel very proud. I feel very proud
Speaking of
that.
that,
Oh, mm,
speaking of that, Ken, you're feeling proud, but
yeah,
I think you mentioned something that there's going to be a race. I think on the weekend where Velasquez and husbands and Jalan Samuel will be in the same race. Does that carry any weight or not really? I mean, the fact that both Jalan and Patrick is
it,
going to be in the race, which
yeah,
have two favorites in Barbados, two fan favorites, but you got
yeah,
Velasquez there too as
that's
well.
the
Does that carry any weight, man?
right, yeah, that's the reason I made it, right? Because I know that the Geelong and Patrick thing is like, oh, the hard Charlie and Venice, Patrick and Ward. So you gotta make it sound exciting. So that's why he wrote that, right? So then everybody can jump on that. You Patrick and Geelong, man. People say, well, Geelong gonna win and beat Patrick. You know, you gotta make it sound exciting. So that's why he made that story. Yeah, and the plus way following Patrick, count down to 400 state winners. I think he got 385 or 386, something wrong there.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's
to
what
that
everybody can
point,
watch our race now.
to that point,
Yeah.
yeah, I see what you're doing with it, especially with the fans in Barbados because, but definitely on the ground here in Toronto, um, Patrick definitely has a reputation. You're not gonna, I mean, even not only in Canada, in USA too, man, and I mean Barbados for sure, but the USA as well. So don't discredit that guy. He's a great um, guy when it comes to jockey, riding horses. He has the stats to back it up, and definitely he's one. He's going to become one of the greats when everything is all done.
Yeah. Um, I know everybody got their favorites, but I still can't understand how business to respect. Nobody will ever say um, they got cricketer by Lara, right? People respect Lara and Sobers as the best cricketers in the Caribbean produce. Nobody don't rival them with nobody else. But I don't know why. That Patrick did everything for the international scene and he's get rival. Like, that's got me puzzled. And right, that just puzzled me.
I think. Well, I don't know, but I think always, there's always people who's always trying to cheer for the underdog. I mean, if you're talking about riders, in this case, Patrick is no longer an underdog. I mean, in some races, he'll probably come up as being an underdog with horses. But when you talk about being legit rider and legit champion, you, I mean, his name is right there in the top, right? When it comes to Barbados, we talking about Barbados now. So definitely he's not an underdog. So people will always cheer for an underdog, and that's the reason why they'll cheer for somebody else or say somebody else is better or whatever, or I don't know what the case is. I mean, there's no comparison. And when you think about Patrick Husband, there's no comparison. I mean, until somebody else can walk the same way and do the same things, then then we can have that argument. But for right now, Patrick Husband, he has all the stats to back it up.
Yeah. Um, uh, I don't think that Patrick gets the respect. The whole Bernard gets the respect in cricket. People can tell me, it's different. It isn't a difference. But that's how horse racing people are. You would never hear anybody say there's a cricket in Caribbean by Lara. Lara gets full respect. Everybody acknowledge that he's the best. But then every time you had a jockey, he's better than Patrick. Just, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
That's
I gotta say this because you're talking about having respect, but to be honest, like within the people who do the tourism stuff here in Canada when it comes to husbands and everything, like I think those people recognize Patrick more than others. So I don't know which fans or which circles you are around in Barbados, but definitely here, the people here definitely do respect the guy. Definitely, he's a face out there for sure. Um, I mean, everybody loves Patrick. I mean, the only people that didn't like Patrick, honestly, was people who called me after when I tried to interview him back a couple years ago, and they were very upset with him. But they were telling me they should have talked to him. But other than that, um, people love him. I mean, even myself. So it's no big deal. I had to say, look, it's no big deal. It's just part of it. If I'm gonna put myself out there like this, then I gotta expect anything and anything. You know what I mean? So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
We love the guy.
Um, F. Patrick and Jalon hit the top of the charts with John Velasquez. People gotta get earplugs. Right? It can be noisy. It can be noisy at Woodburn. That's the
Well, I
finish you're
mean,
looking for.
if Jalal comes up and he wins the race, he definitely. I don't know how. Well, we'll see, but that will be interesting. I don't want to jump ahead of myself here, but that will be quite interesting from a Barbadian point of view of the perception. I could just hear people right now say all kinds of stuff because when I was in Barbados, I hear all kinds of stuff, man. To me, I find it funny, but I do respect the chatter from the people and the fans. It's good for horse racing. I gotta say, like people down there, it's good, very good for horse racing. I can't discredit that. It's always good to have a rivalry.
That Yeah, that race gonna be. And they checked the two horses, the two nice horses, and the horse that John has. They interested to see the odds. Yeah, and Patrick won that race 3 times. So
I mean, there's some young guns in at Woodbine also. So I mean, don't forget them too as well. I mean, most of the time when Velasquez shows up, though, I mean, you got to pay attention if you like horse racing. I mean, he's not gonna make that move just like that. There's definitely has the horse has to have a chance. I think so. So
but I don't know. This was back in I think about 2008. Patrick won 3 state races at Queen Split there. And John finished second time in 2 of them. And all 2 of them running for Mark Cassie. But in get a little secret, because you know he's got my stats. Each time that John goes to Woodburn, Patrick beat him all the time. Check about the stats and see. Yeah.
Each time, but
When
not
he
in
when he
every
come out, he
race
won
though.
third. Not in every race, but 9 over 10 times, Patrick beat him.
Only
So this
nine
will
out
be
of
very
10 times.
interesting. Almost all the time, John can cross Patrick beat him all the time. Whenever he's in race.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look that up. I
Again,
don't know how the hell to look that up. I don't even know where to start when it comes to looking that up. But maybe you can. Maybe
yeah,
you can point that out because
yeah,
that's quite interesting. That's a good stat.
yeah. I can remember some of the races, but I can check back. But that day, one of the horses, the name pool player, Bonamart Cassie. I remember the day that Patrick won 3 states. He beat John and two of them. Um, there was a farm called Mockingbird Farm. Patrick and John was running to the farm. And the friend won. Patrick beat him in 2 states that day. I can check it back and save it. I can check back
Yeah,
the
I
year.
think that's a good
I think
idea.
it was 2008.
I would enjoy that.
Yeah,
That's a good stat. That's actually pretty cool.
yeah. A lot of people don't
That's
remember
real
them
cool.
things. They don't remember. They don't remember Patrick lost in the Gold Cup. They're really sit down and study. You know what made me laugh? Patrick won 385 state races. Brian Lars, Brian Lars scored 385 runs, right? When he broke the record. They respect Lars 385 runs, but they ain't respecting Patrick 385 states. I can hear about Gold Cup. I want Gold Cup. That just make me laugh. Getting back to how I tell you that they respect cricketers and don't respect our jockeys.
Well, I'll tell you something, Ken.
Yeah, I follow.
I don't know if anybody ever told you this before, but when you become an old man and you when you're no longer on this earth, I want them to kind of look at your brain and see how really big your brain is, because I don't know how you do these kind of things, because I don't know how you come up with these things, how you put them together, but it's quite amazing.
Yeah, but that's true. People respect Brian Lara 385 when he scored 400 off. I mean, when he scored 385, the three times it's three word. Everybody jump up, oh, he's the greatest. But should when 385 state race, I still hear you got ring go up to be great. But that's just I don't want this somebody, right? But Beijing real fans just kill me dead with these things that is come up with. Yeah. And what made me laugh, Beijing don't respect Patrick. But when you talk to trainers in Canada and talk to American trainers you work for, you hear how great the man is. You know Patrick Roy for all the top stables in the world. Patrick Roy for I know you will not know this because you didn't follow him back then. Patrick Roy for Godolphin. He run for Chavez stable. He won for John Mount. He didn't really race though. That mean Patrick went to San and worked for Bobby Frankel. But I started that then think because Bobby Frankel died soon after. But Bobby Frankel like him used to send horses over to Canada. Patrick Roy for Ednor Brian. Great for being so one of the greatest trainers in the world, and for a man to do that there, they got a lot of jockeys in American never work for in their stables. Right? People say, "Oh, when we like, make the people know the market right." Right? They're doing book a jockey, especially in big races. But right for more in the world, yours name are Valorum. He was the champion to in England at that time. Patrick Water. So, when you're Patrick talking about horses, it'd be different. I thought a lot of jockeys. It'd be a different conversation. They sound like Messi? I can put in football terms for you because he's a footballer. They sound like Messi, and not to disrespect the Belgian footballer, but one of the Belgian footballers wrong here. It'd be a different story. The man is
You
genius.
always say you don't mean no disrespect, but I
But,
get the feeling that you definitely discrediting them for sure.
but Mark Cassie, that had an interview with Mark Cassie. I don't know if it was funny. It didn't even look like Patrick got some records. Patrick Rico and John are the only Belgian jockeys to win a British Cup. But for Patrick to play, same two of them. That excellent. Patrick ran second in British Cup with CD Hill, and they had an interview with Mark Cassie. And Patrick's a boss. He was trying to Mallet and Mark Cassie. I think you all should send his horse to British Cup. And Mark said, Patrick, you sure you know what you're doing? But I don't think she's done British Cup horse. I just see if I can find back the
I
interview.
think I remember the
The horse ran second at
conversation.
50 to 1.
I remember. I
Right.
remember that.
Um, Patrick wanted to go a couple of chocolate, probably 25th to 1. Uh, Everybody was saying this horse and good. And the thing is, Patrick didn't even have the worry in the beginning of the year. Anderson War was riding it. Patrick told Robert, I'm going to win first Gold Cup for you. And Robert was look at you like he mad. Oh, this man saying this horse just one second last in the prep race to come and win the Gold Cup. And Patrick went 25 to 1. I think Patrick trying to change the equipment on him or something like that. He changed the equipment and the win. The man is a genius.
Well, I think that maybe we'll have to chat a little bit more about some of the other jockeys when they become close. You think that it'll get close enough that we can have this kind of in depth conversation?
Well, something Patrick, you got to get in the mood um, to talk. I don't know if you want to set it up.
No, well,
Another, I don't think that another jockey want to talk about. I don't think we just give Walker respect because you never gonna go cut here. That's the first time boys talk about. Well, that is even the spot so many times. But only got the go cut the way. But why you go cut couple of yards? You might have been a grade 3 in America. You win 1,000 races. You win almost every track in America. When it was saying you only can wear that small tracks, you win at Church, so don't. You win at Oakland, you win at Arlington. You know what I'm saying? You win at Keeneland. You win among the best jockeys. You right down Louis. That race at Keeneland. Walker one of the strongest jockeys in America, which is Louis Hayes. When he jump down, get Walker high. Wonder where he come from.
here,
Right? So
here's my thing on
these
that.
things
Ken.
make me laugh.
Here's my thing on that. So
Yeah.
I think jockeys are unique, right? So I think there's some jockeys who win every race, every big race out there, right? There are jockeys who've traveled around the world and be in all these races, can do some really good things. I think the uniqueness about jockeys is that they all have their unique characteristics about them, and they have their own um, things that they're chasing. So, for example, like Rocco rode at many or pretty much like almost every track, and if he can ride at every track, that's a legit track in the states. In Canada, he would. I'm not sure if he was something that he would chase after too, but that would be something that within him that he can use that in his books when he's done writing or whatever. Patrick, could got 400 state wins when he's by the time he's done whatever, right? And, there's
Yeah.
other jockeys who won who might be chasing after every Breeders' Cup race. Not only winning the Breeders' Cup, but chasing every Breeders' Cup race. Um, the list can go on and on and on. So definitely they have their own character, their own things that they're trying to accomplish. But I think they all can't do the same things, and definitely it's not going to happen. They got their things about them.
Yeah. One of the things that I hear Patrick talk about a lot with Scrifford is how the business is running off America. A lot of people think that race is running off America, like they only run down here. It's a business out there. I mean, I'm not like degrading here, but it's true. Only run here twice a week. So, um, not the most, right? Out there is racing and racing out. Um, right? And we was here Walker say all the time the business, right? Walker got good people around him, and people say, "Well, you got good people around him," but this is the ultimate thing. Walker listens. That's where he got far. I mean, you can ask him. Walker when Walker first started, he said he never seen him read a race program, but he get serious, he bungled down, and he succeed, right? So yeah, I'm ready for that. Um, and get far with Walker. They do there to win 1,000 races in America, right? And coming from the Caribbean, that ain't easy to do. A lot of those like John said Jamaican. He went to he went to the States when he was 9. So they taking him like a North American. But Walker went to the States, no boy, maybe what was a Barbados? It was a Barbados. We don't even know where that is at that point, right? A lot of people they don't know. So it is really with dark side.
Yeah, I'm reading it too. I mean, definitely
Um,
people do have comments, and they people pay
but,
attention
um,
to when it comes to horse racing. It's quite interesting.
yeah, well, he said, "I don't know how much races to win, but well, for me, so much races to win." But yeah, yeah, I like to see if you were Poland, I go on and see our business doing well. Yeah. But I hope that we're fans respect our horsemen more. That's all it is. They love cricket is bad. I hope that they could do the same thing. They can show that same love for our horsemen. They're doing very well. There's nobody in
Okay,
Barbados that
look,
can tell me. Huh?
here's the thing, right? I was talking
Hmm.
to an older gentleman from Barbados, right? And I was talking to
Hmm.
him maybe about it was about almost 2 months ago, and he's like in his 80s, right? And one thing that he did say to me, and it kind of stuck with me, is that we were talking about the same thing that you're talking about, which is uh, getting respect, having respect, being able to convince people that you're the right guy for them. We're talking about jockeys now, so being able to convince people that look, I'm the right guy. Even if you don't write me now, you can write me tomorrow. If you don't write me tomorrow, maybe next week, whatever, right? But at least here's my number and keep my number. And he said to me, Derek, I'm not going to pat myself on the shoulder here, but he said, Derek, you have an opportunity where you come in, where you can showcase these guys, where people are able to see them in a different light, and also be able to convince people that these are people for the job. Now, that being said, it's still up to the jockeys or whoever to put themselves in that perspective, put themselves in that light where they can convince people that they're the person and they can be respect well get the respect one way or the other, right? So what I'm trying to get at is um, they still have to be able to do some of that work themselves too, and to be able to convince people, and that respect will start to come to as well. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. I'm not saying you're gonna put on a tie and dress up in a shirt and tie all the time, and stuff like that, but definitely there's ways. There's ways. I'm just saying, there's no one way, but there's many other ways, right? I mean, the
Yeah, but
jockey who people love internationally, um, Frankie Dettori, he's had his trouble, his runnings throughout the years and over the years, but yet he still gets the respect from owners and fans and the whole community. So there's ways, there's some things that people
um,
can do differently.
somebody want to mention too. I know I want to spend the whole night talking about jockeys, but this is Devon Giddings. I know a lot of people don't. Everybody's asking me, "Can you this Devon Giddings?" I know Devon Giddings, man. Anybody brought him down at the track. He was the exercise rider. A lot of people don't know that, right? And then to go out there and win race at Woodburn at the percentages he was hitting that, he was always a hard worker from a exercise rider. I feel very proud. And then we got another trainer going for 100 wins to our Carlos Grant. You know, Carlos Grant come out hard as a goon. And now to see him going for 100 wins and from work is very, I feel very proud that those guys, how those guys doing. I feel very, very proud. There's a couple more trainers in Canada would like to see get more horses from owners soon. Um, but that will happen in time. Randy Thompson, he's a very good horseman. I would like to see him get more owners and stuff. And he come out as a groom too and as his jockey. These guys come from the grassroots. These guys ain't getting a hand down. You know, so I'm glad how hard they're working and how good it was.
Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Do you think that horse racing is something that has to be in you from the time you were a little boy, or you think that that people can easily, not easily, but can learn some of it, and be involved?
Well, horse racing is like cricket. That boom, you can learn fast. You play cricket in the road, and you know how much balls in the over, and horse racing like that. It's saying that is gone on. It for me. I'm not gonna body, but for me, I think we come out on it in it from young is best. But I'm not saying that I have people that come in late that ain't catch on, but it's something you gotta study. You gotta be studying all the time. So it's best from young. But cricket, guys play cricket in the road and as they say, so they catch on faster and they catch on quick. That's why a lot of people don't really know. A lot of red fans don't really know about racing because they come in late and they're behind time. Right? A lot of people laugh and think, but
But do you
and then some people
do you think do you
study it.
think horse
Like
racing,
you, like
or
you.
do you think?
You tell me. You, I didn't.
No, I was going to ask you. Do you think horse
I
racing,
didn't
or do you
Justin.
think um, working with a horse or looking after horses? Like, what are you referring to there?
Well, all two. There's guys that that went Canada that never won a horse in Barbados and they went Canada and they boom a horse and then they catch on quick. People show them they listen. Right? When people working with horses, you gotta listen. So and a lot I don't really want to call it name, but a lot of people and then think whereas fans know there's some guys that come in there and they listen and they read and think and I got a friend of mine down the road and he can races, big and you learn fast. But then I got some guys who know everything and that's when they run in trouble. Like you tell me you wasn't really in a race, man. In Barbados, you was a football man. But you went to Woodbine, you talk a lot of people, and you catch on quick, right? But the got guys that feel that come and know everything. You know right there. And that when it's running trouble, right?
Well,
But you listen, you study, and you catch on fast.
well, I think for myself, I can only speak for myself, which is over the years,
Mm.
obviously picking up a race form is easy. You can, and after you do it a few times, then you you can know which horses should be okay. Should be. That doesn't mean they're gonna win, but there's a big difference. I'll say there's a big difference when you when you
I
when you
think
go on the back stretch, or when you go and mingle with the grooms and the trainers, on how horses, what is happening back there. That's a big difference. Like, people who read racing forms don't know what's happening with the horses. So that's where I say is the biggest difference is race, how a horse runs, and versus how a horse is feeling. Those are completely different things.
um I remember I had an interview in Canada with John O, and the guy the first time I asked him, John O, let me ask you something. How were your Beijing guys get so good? He said, me, Ricky Griffith, and Pat Charles, when our dad were jockeys, and they teach us from a young age, right? And that's something that we got on them, In Brother Hill, you will see a little guy come up. Jalan come up with I can see Jalan, what, 10 years old, with his stick in his hand, a guy down the road teaching the right. We guys start young, right? And that's saying that I understand a lot of those guys in Canada don't start to the big. So that's something that we got on them. All right, we guys start young.
All right. Well, that being said, I gotta bounce out of here,
But
man. Nice chatting with you tonight. Thank Darwin also for
so
joining
yeah,
us. Um,
hopefully we get another session next week when we can do it next week Thursday when the jockeys out. Things will be more heated then. The final program come out next week Thursday. So if we could get a session there, that'll be good.
well, you make sure when I come back again, you got all that information though, because definitely that would be helpful to
Yeah,
people looking in from the outside, just to get some clarity on why,
yeah,
why, if you apprentice can't, why you can ride in the apprentice race, but you can't ride in the derby. I mean, nobody's poking at anyone. It's just, it wants clarity really to know why. I mean, what's the big deal? It must be something. I don't know.
yeah,
There must be something that's why
yeah.
they do it.
I can try to find out about it. The reason why it's so slow on it, don't forget that I'm not going over the track. I was done with the track, I would know, but I gotta make phone calls. You can't see these people face to face because I'm not done at the track. But I will try to find it.
To be honest, I agree with you, but in these times with the smartphones, you can definitely still make a phone call. You
Yeah.
definitely can make a video call if you want face to face. There's a lot of things there that you can do, but I'm just messing with you, man.
Yeah, I just found out.
All right,
Yeah.
bro.
But I mean, I would have what I mean is I would have found out earlier because I put in I had my injury. You know, I'd be done with the track and I'd be done for another percent.
All right.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
yeah, we'll be back next week.
All right. Nice,
Hopefully,
nice
yeah.
talking. Nice chatting. Thanks for the information. You have a good night, and we'll chat soon.
Yeah. All right. Cool, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Take care. All right.